Is this the hottest wine in Napa Valley? In the past 20 years, no other winery has received more 100-point scores from wine critics as Hundred Acre. In this video, we will be blind tasting 3 Hundred Acre wines along with 1 bargain wine. We're adding a 4th wine to the mix. With soaring prices, a 6-year waiting list, and acclaim from critics, is a 100 Acre wine worth all the hype?
I'm kind of buying into the hype here.
And will my dad be able to spot the imposter wine?
I can recognize the setup when I see one. All right.
Most wineries would probably celebrate if they got a 100-point review, right?
Oh, absolutely, it's a big deal. But there are winemakers who would say that the big scores are usually reserved for certain types of wines.
What types?
Well, the stereotype is that they would be, overly extracted, big fruit, high alcohol, and just kind of pack a big punch.
And would you say that 100 Acre kind of fits that description or no?
I don't think so, but I'm gonna reserve judgment until the end. I think 100 Acre is a more balanced wine.
Okay, well let's take a closer look at the wines we're gonna try today. So how many bottlings of 100 Acre are there?
So there are a lot of different bottlings, but there are only 3 vineyards: Kayli Morgan, Ark, and far and few between. So let's start with Kayli Morgan. That was the first vineyard that Jason Woodbridge purchased. It was planted with Sauvignon Blanc at the time when he purchased it, and then he replaced it with 100% Cabernet Sauvignon in 1996. And then remember, their first vintage was 2000. Then there's Ark, which is a larger property on Glass Mountain above St. Helena, but with 13 acres of vineyard. The winery, a 14,000 square foot cave referred to as the Ring, is located in that Glass Mountain underneath parts of the vineyard. And the first Ark vintage was 2005.
So where does Wraith fit in?
So Wraith is kind of a super blend of all 3 vineyards. There's also deep time for wines that have been aged in barrel for 4 to 5 years, and an uber rare precious bottling and a Wraith crypt. 100 Acres even make a port style wine named Fortification.
And how long do you want these bottles in the decanter for?
I think 30 minutes should do it, maybe 45 minutes, and they should be ready.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and set up the tasting table and mark the glasses. So what my dad doesn't know is that we're adding a 4th wine to the mix.
I brought layer cake. So this is a blend, like kind of a mixed entry-level tier that Jason Woodbridge has also done. Totally not on the same tier as these wines at all.
Well, we're gonna do a blind tasting. We're gonna mark each glass 1 through 4, and we're gonna see if he finds the imposter wine and what he thinks about it.
All right, I want you to know that I can recognize the setup when I see one. And there are 4 glasses, 3 bottles of wine. What's the deal, B? Why would we have 4 glasses?
Well, all our subscribers, they wanted us to do a blind tasting, so Stacey and I, we thought it was the perfect opportunity to kind of like throw a wrinkle in the tasting.
So you're in on this?
I brought the wrinkle.
All right, you know what? You guys wanted it. I'm game. Let's go. How do you want to do this?
Well, since you're the only one who doesn't know what this extra wine is, I think we can go through the list, taste as we go, and see what your reactions are.
All right, so start with number 1?
Yeah,
all
let's start with number 1.
Let's do it. Great deep color.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if these are, 10, 12-year-old wines, they certainly have no indication of age at all, right?
All of these are still pretty young for Napa. There's a little bit more kind of bricky tone to it, but it's real minor.
Nose is great. Mm-hmm. And B, we've now learned about the differences between primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas. I mean, these are all primary and secondaries.
I'm not getting anything stinky.
Is it okay to start?
Yeah, let's do a cheers and then let's try it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's incredible. That's really nice.
It is super good. It's all about the structure for me. That is
Yeah.
just clinging onto my tongue.
This is still young.
For sure. There's some structure here that's going to hold up.
You can feel the tannins in your cheeks. You kind of, and this goes back to your question early on. I don't feel like this, to me, doesn't taste like one of those big kind of score-seeking wines. This feels really balanced to me.
It's nice and sweet and smooth. That's what I'm getting from it.
Lots of like blackberry, cherry, lots of fruit on there.
You know, one of the selling points of 100 Acre is that they can age for 40 years, but they can be consumed relatively early and that they're really approachable all along.
I think that's one of the magic things of Napa.
So you're saying that this is a 100 Acre wine?
I'm saying this is a 100 Acre wine. I'm putting money on 100 Acre right here.
Right.
Do you have any guess on the vineyard?
I don't. So I don't know 100 Acre well enough to be distinguishing between the vineyards.
All right, well, let's try number 2.
Good call.
Yeah, so I think we discovered what the imposter is. Nose hair is quite noticeably different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Does it sound bad if I say that this smells a little bit more like a value?
Like
Red?
a value? That's what it smells like to you. It's not bad.
You know, that's.
Now, it would be terrible if it turned out to be one of these.
Okay, you tried it without us. That's rule number 1 that you
Jump in.
broke.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on this one. If I'm wrong on this channel is over. There will be no more episodes.
Or it just got way funnier.
But you know what? I like it though. It's pleasant, fruity, doesn't have the depth and concentration and structure and all that. But I would drink this in a heartbeat.
I think it's great. I would drink this and honestly think it was expensive if I didn't already know. But it might be expensive. We'll reveal at the end.
So did I ruin the blind test?
It was kind of a fail.
Well, let's move on to number 3.
Okay, so that smells a lot like the first one we had.
It is really totally different.
You know, I think it's hard to be on video, on camera, and try to explain the difference between 2 and 3. I mean, it's how do you put it into words, right? That's
Just scratch and sniff on the No. It's tough, right? You really have to come up with the vocabulary of what you're talking about. It's one of the things that like sommeliers train for.
we're still learning. All right, cheers.
Cheers. That one's good, but it's not as good as number 1.
No?
What do you think the difference is?
To me, number 1, it's a little sweeter and it's a little smoother.
I kind of agree. I think 3 has a little more of those, like, if the vineyard or the vintages were much more different, I would think this one would be a little older. It's got a little bit more of the kind of earthy, mushroomy, tertiary kind of flavors, those aging flavors that tell me it's got a little more age to it. Knowing these are like 12, 13, and 14, that's a very small vintage variation, so maybe that's not it, but it is an interesting comparison knowing they're different wines.
In my experience, the 12s are a little bit more approachable than the 13s. And the 14s are usually a little more approachable as well. 13 had a lot of structure. I love this wine. I want to go back to 1 and try that against 3. I'm not sure how I feel yet. I loved them, both of them. Thought they were really, really good. So I'm kind of buying into the hype here. Are we ready for number 4?
I think so. Let's do it.
B, how are you holding up? Are you enjoying this as much as I am?
I mean, I'd be happy just drinking number 2.
Okay, so this is a little bit different.
It is a little bit different. Yeah, for sure.
So I thought that there was a little bit more tart cherry, maybe a little tartness in the other 2, 1 and 3. I don't pick that up here.
No, I wouldn't use the word tart about this nose at all.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely more... Did you just jump ahead and taste, B?
I thought that you guys tasted it too.
All right, cheers.
It is good though. Spoiler alert. That might be my favorite.
Yeah, I thought on the nose that I was going to like that the most.
Not your favorite?
I'm not convinced.
Okay. I want to say what I think this one is because of how direct 1 and 3 are.
Wait, I thought that you knew what they were.
Which is why I'm not saying it.
Oh.
Because I do.
Wait, you remember what the numbers are? Because I forgot.
After pouring 20 of them, or 12 of them, you know, it sticks with you.
So Is 100 Acre the hottest winery in Napa Valley right now?
I think that's going to depend on who you ask, right? It still takes years to get on the guy's mailing list to get these wines. At the restaurant, we are allocated a very small amount of them every year, every vintage. It's definitely a contender.
Stacey, I think it's time to reveal to my dad what each one is.
Which one do you think it is?
I think number 2 is the odd one out. I have no idea what it is. My suspicion is that it's a cab because we're tasting cabs, so knowing you, I would think that you would...
I tried to be consistent.
Yeah, I would think that'd be how she would set me up. Really enjoy drinking it. Be great pizza wine. I'm gonna guess that it's a California wine. Other than that, I have no idea.
Well, you killed it. It is all of those things.
Wait.
Layer Cake Cabernet, 2021, California.
Right. Okay. So a Jason Woodbridge wine.
This is.
Although that was 2021 and he sold the layer cake in what, 2017?
2017 or 2018.
Ah, that's really fun. That was fun, guys. I think the blend is number 4.
I think that's
Wraith.
a great guess.
So
that's
I think
totally
that,
number 4.
Between Kayli Morgan and Ark, I would have no idea which one is which, so.
But it is Ark at the first, number 1, and then the Kayli Morgan is number 3.
Okay, right. Well, I think that 1, 3, and 4 were incredible wines.
Okay, let's wrap this up. I want to know what your favorite was, and I want to know what your favorite was.
Stacey?
Can I taste them all one more time? I've really enjoyed drinking the Kayli Morgan today, so that's going to be my vote for favorite.
I would go with Stacey. I thought the 300 Acres were fantastic wines. I feel so fortunate to have tried them today. Yeah, I can't pick. I mean, they're fantastic. They're great. So B, what's your favorite?
My favorite's gonna be number 4, the Wraith. I just thought it was my favorite. I don't know why it's my favorite, but it tastes the best to me, so.
And you know, that's the highest scoring wine too. So Robert Parker, the expert, he would agree with you.
Robert Parker, I'm coming for your position.
He's retired.
He's retired.
Oh.
Jeff, are you gonna join us in the cheers? Sure. Hey, and we also have a very special guest tonight, which you don't know, you haven't seen him. But Mark is our Napa Valley, grown up, you know, California dude. And Mark, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Jeff.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Here, wait, let me get my wine glass. And like I'm really